Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Portal Revolution. So we made it to the second chapter. The default route, I believe, is what it's going for. The first one was the human resource. So it seems like all of the chapters are going to start the something. We've been hired, technically, by Aperture Science to be the janitor, and now this personality cure is our boss and
You probably
leading
noticed
us
by now
around.
that the facility isn't in great shape. It's a long story, so I'll cut it short. The central core in charge of maintaining the facility has been put out of commission. I tried to look after the place in her absence, but I don't have the tools. Good news though, I found better tools. A device capable of repairing the whole enrichment center. The only problem is that only a human can turn it on, so I hoped maybe you could fill in that role for me. The life of every human and core in the facility is at risk if we don't stop the collapse. Come on, let's go. I'll
So
explain the rest on the way.
the central core is almost certainly GLaDOS, and anybody playing this game should know that. Here's a great example of a texture that would potentially need to be improved upon in a remaster or new Portal game overall. I would also say that while the cursor in the middle of the screen does give you a decent amount of information, increasingly I just don't want reticles in the middle of the screen, and I would like a more natural interface on the portal gun itself to tell me whether a blue or orange portal has been shot. I don't really mind the fact that portals are see-through through the walls, because that's probably something you could turn off, at least in the console. But I don't feel like when we're in these cutscenes in particular, I need to be seeing the reticle. And arguably, a more polished version of this game would be that it would have taken control of the camera away from me, zoomed in nice and big for me to listen to the core as he talked, and moved the reticle away and taken the reticle away. Am I squatting down? No, I'm just oddly very short. I've seen this happen before in games, in Portal games in particular, where all of a sudden your character just comes off as very short. Maybe this is in part an effort to just make it absolutely impossible to jump over the edges, which I imagine there would just be an invisible wall here, because at some level it seems like you could just get an angle on it and definitely clear if there wasn't an invisible wall there.
We need to get closer to the surface. I found an elevator in this direction.
Like, inherently, I assume we're going to go back to doing puzzles at some level. It'd be very weird if the rest of the game is just wandering around. Like, only so much of that is actually interesting. And it doesn't feel like there's any hide-and-go-seek like functionality here where we're trying to find any kind of secret thing. Now, arguably, by the time you're out of the testing facility, you need a antagonist, and right now we just don't have that, and that's a little early to have to give me a tutorial, or feel the need to give me a tutorial. Like, so I kind of hope that you'd start crawling down here, and then the floor would just open up, and then you'd be back in the testing facility, or something, some other core. Here we have an elevator, or a vacuum tube, it looks like. Looks like we're have to drop down. Boy, did it slow down as I
Up ahead
approached
is
the
the
edge.
turret disposal facility. Since they're all defective, they shouldn't be able to hurt you, but still be careful.
Interesting that a core would even care. And there's just not going to be anything in the back rooms to shoot a portal on, so at a certain point it stops becoming a portal game. Which maybe that would be an opportunity, certainly, to make a new game including a character like Chell, if you just made a game called Chell, or Half-Life Chell, even, and left the portal gun at home. And they definitely, both figuratively and literally, have painted themselves in the corner with the moon dust panels, only being the only panels that accept a portal, which just means that even if you have a portal gun outside of Aperture Science, you're not likely to run into a facility that has moon dust panels in it. I keep hitting the wrong button here. Like, I expect the X button to interact, and it is actually the B button to interact and the X button to squat, where I'd kind of expect the Y button to squat, and the Y button doesn't seem to really do anything. This is fine falling action. It's a bad spot to start a new episode.
You might think that their pain is only simulated, but how is it different to yours or mine? They really don't deserve to be shredded, but don't worry. All their scrap will be recycled for production, and only surplus turrets get shredded after all.
So, yeah. Again, nice scene here. Perhaps it would have been better just to take control and show it to me completely. This guy seems way too emotional as a personality core. He seems to be possibly an empathy core.
So, I'm looking through your records, and I see you have a family. How are the kids? Oh no. You know what? Forget I asked that. I am so sorry.
Yeah, he's got to be an empathy core. Or he's got to be at least a core that has empathy. And we're getting some backstory on our character. But it's pretty nebulous backstory. Feels like you should have a flashlight. That's interesting how dark this room is. That's an interesting little experiment. Should I just walk off the edge? Or would it have gone down even further? Yeah. Well, it seems like the Y button would help if we had a flashlight, and certainly adding a flashlight to a Portal game in a mod would make some sense. Usually most of the rooms are very brightly lit.
Turbines. Of course. Try not to get blown away too much. These things can get supersonic if you turn them up.
Now we have green there, which is either gas or water, some kind of liquid. And I walked right up to this and didn't even see that there was these wire in the glass or wire in the door. So it looks like we have to turn down the we have to shut down the wind turbines as our first puzzle. Seeing a bunch of companion cubes. I'll just pick up this turret and hope it can't actually shoot me. Whoops. So much for that plan. Can we reach a companion cube down here. Or maybe there is just no actual solution to this puzzle as much as there is just a appearance of a solution to a puzzle. No, you can just climb up ladders while holding or hovering a companion cube. Interesting. We'll hold it up nice and high so we don't bump it into anything else. And yeah, we can have a little bit of this, but eventually we're going to need full-on puzzles. Even in the main games, this was really more of a situation where I imagine we're not supposed to just run around here looking at companion cubes. Yeah, even in the main games, when you got to these points, you kind of needed to move forward fairly quickly. Warning, do not touch glass. Well, I don't think I can touch the glass that time. And it's odd to have fizzlers just in the middle of spots. And then it's odd to have portal things. Remember, we only have the blue portal still at this point.
Try to find a way across that bridge. I'm sure you'll figure it out, so I will wait right ahead.
Yep. These guys aren't really shooting like the turrets do normally. I assume these are defective turrets, but I also just wouldn't be surprised if they've been programmed to not start firing for more of a delay. The delay was pretty short in the main games. I think that probably helps speed up the gameplay overall, though, by having a fairly short delay. We can't turn off the fan now. It's off on its own. It's very weird to just have a portal show up in the middle of the facility. So, we have this title, Revolution. I guess the guess here, I imagine if I drop down there I'd just die, is that this may be the revolution here that we're talking about. This companion cube or personality core may have straight up designed new portal levels to not feel like portal levels and instead be much more natural in much more natural places. I can walk over here. What does that tell me, though? I think the only place it looks like you can put a portal is here, and I guess that's where the reticle would help, is that the reticle is showing me. I just needed to walk. I didn't need to shoot a portal. I'm thinking too much with portals. But I guess the reticle does show me whether or not you can place a portal or not on a certain occasion. And our fall boots will save us. But weirdly, we have a save in a fall, and so instead of using elevators for loading sections, it looks like they're going to just straight up use falls for loading sections. A little revolutionary in that idea.
How does it feel to be an official Aperture employee? Yeah, must be great. Though on that topic, don't try running off without me, okay? Yes, I made up the human emergency response team, but so what? It can still be real. are human. This is quite an emergency, and you are responding to it. Not quite a team yet, though. No, a team can't consist of one person. That doesn't make sense. Let's get more people. That seems like a lot of work. You know what? I think we two make a great team in of itself. You might not make a fully human team, but you can't always get what you want. Semi-human? I'll go with that. To get back on topic, here's my proposal. You help me repair the facility, and I'll let you leave.
Well, we've got a switch over here, but I don't know how we'd hit it. We've got a bunch of junk we can pick up. It looks to me like this may... No, that's just a box with a turret in it. And these are just shipping containers. It also feels like you could just jump off the edge there. It is implied, well, I mean, it's not implied, it's directly said that, whoops, looks like he could have fallen off the edge there. So two different ways you could have gone. You could have taken the stairs, or you could have taken the ladder. I'm not sure you see any ladders. Yeah, you can fall off the edge, but I guess it wouldn't matter. You just wouldn't take any fall damage. Yeah, I don't think in Portal 1 or Portal 2 you see ladders. The addition of ladders isn't adding that much to a game. I wonder if perhaps the fan-made Project Black Mesa added some more elements that could be played around with in Portal Revolution, as they both are in the Source engine. Unfortunately, the problem with the Source engine is, unless you're making a Portal mod, unless you're making a something like a Portal mod or a Half-Life mod, you're just not likely to want to use the Half-Life Source engine, Source engine 2, Source engine 1, take your pick. You're better off using something that's just better supported and used by more games, which would probably be the Unreal Engine. So this disc is part of a companion cube, which arguably means I could have just picked up some trash and taken it with me. The last puzzle that we did, it was a pure puzzle. It was way more difficult than what we're seeing here. So maybe it's working its way up to make me feel comfortable with the new environments. But I kind of wanted to speed up the process. We have some nice environmental sound effects, and here I guess is a throwback to
Nicely done.
to not getting incinerated in the first game.
This is a test observation facility. Humans had to sit here all day and watch you test subjects solve the chambers. In real time, too. Imagine.
Which, yeah, I guess that would be a nightmare. Here we have an insert disc, and in the co-op of Portal 2 you would find some of these discs and play them as a way of unlocking certain doors or moving the story forward. Here, I imagine this might be more of a case where this is just an Easter egg. Notice how it was completely vertical and then became completely horizontal. I have no idea what that did. I was expecting it to either play something over here or play something here, and neither happened. So So maybe I needed to do that. But I don't know why I needed to do that. Maybe to open this door. And see, it's weird you can put a portal here. Yeah. So here's a number 3 test chamber, which doesn't inherently mean it was the number 3 test chamber we looked at. Just a lot of doors that are not opening. Which maybe there's an argument for there being a reason to like have doors that are locked down or broken in some way. Do not upload version 2.237 schematics, it says, which maybe we already did that. Yeah, the real problem here is just the antagonist is missing. Let's see, you have a bunch of like redacted things being shown here, which what's the point of showing something on a PowerPoint if it's all going to be redacted? Well, I kind of feel like there would be maybe a reason to get into this room, but it doesn't seem like there really is. And then these being surfaces you could potentially put a portal on seems to really play no role at all. At least not now. Maybe we'll go through these rooms later.
There's another observation room on the other side that can take you to the elevators. I'm sure you can find another way in there. You're pretty resourceful.
We're just getting this core talking to us randomly. We're not even seeing a track or where it would be. Which at a certain point there's enough monitors that if a core just started to show up on the monitors and talk that way, that'd be fine. Okay, so we overrode part of that puzzle, number 2, and it doesn't seem like we're trying to break the glass or anything and get through it. And then doors are just shutting behind us. Would glass breaking play an interesting role in
Bombs? Sure, if there's no other way.
So we're using explosive
Do what you must.
balls.
Just don't be reckless and only destroy what you need. Any other repairs I'll have to assign back to you. Also, try not to die. I'm tired of mopping up human blood. That red never gets it out.
Okay. So we have this bomb concept now. Interesting. Can we jump up to get through here though? No, but we don't really need to. We can just jump through here and then get out of the way. So we're going back into the puzzle room. Let's explore just to make sure we can't blow up regular things. Nope. So we're now back in a puzzle chamber, and we straight up have a bomb mechanic. And we see 2 portal elevators here for the robots in the co-op of Portal 2. So we're in a co-op puzzle, effectively, that they're going to ask us to solve. Of course, the challenge here is going to be probably not to pick up pieces of glass and then drop them. Like, I can't even really drop the glass easily. Pick it up and then drop it, but it's not going to do anything. Let's see what happens if we try and blow that up. Nothing. We can't get back to the orange spot. Okay. So probably what needs to happen is something like this. We need to go through it, and go through it again, and put the portal there, and jump through this window, jump through here. Okay, and we'll blow up that.
Another thing to add to the never-ending to-do list.
Now I'm a little surprised that this isn't just breaking this glass. I guess maybe what we're seeing here is that this is solid glass, but it has the shadows of this cracked glass. And all those little glass pieces despawned. So am I supposed to potentially try and shoot my way up there with a portal? I think I am, because I don't think there's another way to reach our goal. So looks to me like, once again, we're going through this kind of recursive solution. Taking the same steps multiple times. The timing sound effect works, but...
Good. You finally found the exit. Those bombs are a menace.
It works, but it's a little annoying as far as the sound effect. It's not exactly what I would want to hear, but honestly I think that is also the sound effect that is in the main game, so I can't really hold that as a positive or negative for Portal Revolution in particular. Interesting, you just have a totally dark room now, different lighting, and a load section. Inherently, I guess that's the problem overall, though, is that you're going to have this situation where a lot of Portal Revolution as a fan-made mod could just be credited to the makers of Portal 2 and Portal 1 themselves, so Valve. I also would like to see a surprise in one of these mods where it turns out you're not actually in Aperture Science.
I have a surprise for you after
Michigan.
this last little hurdle. I know. I promised no more test. Wait, no I didn't. Well then, here you go. I'll wait up ahead and, prepare some things. Take your time.
Yeah. The general thought is that Aperture Science Laboratories is in Michigan. So if there was a second facility in, say, crazy places, like under the ocean, Portal 2 has you in a mining cave at the bottom of Aperture Science, so why not in the ocean, in space, in just a different state altogether? Why not introduce somebody like GLaDOS but not GLaDOS, so you can just do it all over again? Why not go to a Black Mesa facility and see what Black Mesa is doing? Yeah, this looks like a really crazy test. Certainly it feels like I just want to jump off the edge, but yeah, sure. If you give me an edge, let's just jump off it and see what happens. Particularly since there are many places where you do jump down.
I have a surprise for you after this last little hurdle.
Again, half of this is just like,
I promise no more tests.
find the robot in the
didn't.
conversations.
Well then, here you go. I'll wait up ahead and, prepare some things. Take your time.
Okay, we've got a cube. Let's take the cube. We've got a block. I doubt the block is supposed to block the laser cube. Got just a lot of everything. Just take the cube with us wherever we go and see if we can figure this out. Okay. I don't know what was lifted here. This went here, here, and somewhere over there to do something, and it looks to me like there might be multiple connecting spots. I don't even know what exit is, and I feel like a puzzle should probably give you an ultimate goal. I guess it's there. Now I see it. Guess you have to go here. And I think hitting the switch moved where the orange portal is. Okay. So then, if I put that there, that's gonna power the laser light show. Okay. And then we would need to get back to where we were. How can we do that? If I jump down here, I guess that's my only option. Interesting that it looks like you can jump up in there. We want to get back up that direction. But how? Let's start over again. It's probably something fairly simple, just like getting up here first, then doing that. Then it makes the light bridge. I definitely feel like there should be a run button. And why are those activating when all I'm doing is just getting close to it? Definitely feels like there should be a run button, but it doesn't feel like there is. Can't squeeze that through that spot. Now, we don't have anything that could switch this so it would pull me back. So that we're maybe taking an abridged experience here overall as to just how this gets solved. We just need this powered, which means we need a laser to hit it. Okay. So we'll go back this direction. Probably going back this direction, but I don't know if we aren't first in need of grabbing a cube. Yeah, there's a cube over there. Where'd the cube go? Down here? Okay. What can we do and what can't we do now? Let's go back over this direction. It'd be interesting, I suppose, if you had a companion cube that had that same level of addiction that every other personality core, not a companion cube, but personality core, had that same level of addiction that everything else has as far as needing to puzzle. And thus it's just going to force you to do puzzles regardless of how pointless that may be. Alright, so this seems like I'm gonna have to solve everything again. And it definitely seems like the game is going to penalize me severely for not paying attention to these steps in which I take things and how I do things. Was to not take that there, but instead, say, maybe take it there. Nope, that's not really correct either. Need it to be somewhere else. This with us, and we'll go over here. Hit that. Okay. So if I put a portal there, can I make a jump over to that section? No. If I put a portal that direction, can't really do anything either. How do we get this cube over there? We need to probably click this button and reset things so that the one portal ends up over there, but I don't know how I do that. And there's holes in the ceiling, so that could be something too. And then there's a hole in the window. So maybe the hole in the window is so we can do that. switch. That'll work. I guess there would have been no other way for that to work. The question is, where's this laser supposed to point? Kinda doesn't change anything. Okay. I'm gonna assume that that is supposed to just hit the wall. Meanwhile, take this with us. And then what was going to hit the switch to put the orange cube on the other side. Now I think it is more complicated than that, isn't it? It's, you've got to put this here. Then, now I've left the cube in the wrong place. This here. This needs to be put right here where this burn mark is and put the laser that direction. Okay. Then that allows me probably not to do this. That's probably not what we're going for. Probably instead going this direction, then going back that direction, going this direction. Putting that direction. That should be lining up and hitting, but it's not. The angle is slightly off. Let's see. So I have to basically line things up in hope that it will work. You see, that's a kind of great example of where in Portal 2 that would have been game tested to death, and that definitely would have just worked on the first try, or at least I think it would. Okay, everything should be fine. It's interesting how you have kind of music playing when you're outside of these fields. And this puzzle is just a great example of how much variety Portal 2 really added to the Portal concept. That it wasn't just stupidly trying to make more puzzles with just orange and blue puzzles. They added lasers, they added reflecting cubes, they added these tunnels. They can suck and blow you in different directions. There's probably a few more gimmicks and gadgets that were added. You inherently would kind of expect a few more things to be added in a Portal 3 if a theoretical Portal 3 was ever made. Move F4. Interesting. No, F4 mover. So are we going to get any story or explanation as to why it felt the need to make us solve a test? Or is it just going to straight up kill us and betray us? Let's see. New save. Now, Steam input here, previously I saw new save had the X button highlighted as a button. Now, it seems like the X button is not highlighted as a new save, and I have to kind of come down here and click new save. Interesting. I could have sworn the button prompt said new save before, and now they don't. Which maybe that's an indication that Steam input is still very much in flux and inconsistent. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.